Good morning. We gotta get ourselves settled here. It's been a hectic morning. Hectic morning. All right. You guys hear me? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Good morning, Slater. Always early. Slater, does it even count if you're on the show? If you're not actually here, you just say good morning and then you dip? I don't know. Thanks. Good. Good morning, Maggie. How's it going? What's up, Craig? What's up, Jeff? Hey. Man. What's up, Heather? Hey. Thanks, guys, for being here. All two. It's all right. It'll grow. It'll grow. Man, good evening. He is live. We is live. What's up, Ken? KDL in the house. 15. Look at that. Out of nowhere. Gus, the world is here. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Good morning. Ralph Lauren. Daily, you should have just left it at Ralph Lauren. I think you should have just, yeah. Ralph Lauren would have been maybe a little more, like enticing. I'm like, oh, shit. That's the guy. What's up, Gus? Gus, how'd you fare? How'd you fare this week? Did you get a W? I got a W. Man. What's up, Larry? Hey. Hey, guys. Man, it's Tuesday, November 12th. Sorry for a little bit of the late start. I kind of like a 6:45 start. I'm trying to work out in the morning and so I'm taking our what we write for the main track, and me and one of my coaches, Orlando, are shortening it for like 45 minutes, and it's pretty good. And so I'm trying to do that most mornings. Yesterday I was able to wake up a little later because the fam was home for Veterans Day, right? Yesterday, and so that was nice. Ralph, what'd you do? Let me know your workout. And so it was so try and get in and out, and it's nice because I can pretty much do it in 30 minutes, like a really hard 30, and it feels really, really good. So I really enjoy it. I really enjoy training, but it's hard to justify all the time, because it does take a lot of time, right? And I've learned that over the years that my time is can't really do the hour and a half sessions anymore. No, that's a good question. So I usually do Chad, but I'm trying to really be consistent with this training cycle that my company is doing, and a shortened version of it. So I went with my norm, right? And so whatever my coach Orlando, which is one of our coaches, is writing. So we're both pretty busy. We can't train like a full schedule. And so I just went with that, right? But it's still plenty of work. But no hero wads. Hero wads are kind of like man, the grit and the grind. Like I'll probably do Chad in the next week or so. I just didn't want to do it yesterday, because I'm really trying to like stay on it on like what I'm doing. So that was really it. I did it last year, and I felt really shitty after it. And so there seems to be some new people here. So I have some not current health stuff, but some prior health stuff over my lifetime that prevents me from a lot of intensity in the past couple of years. And not really intensity, but just like movement selection and blood pressure stuff. I've had some cardiovascular events. So like pushing Chad is cool, but I mean, it really, like having a ruck on my neck for that long, it just creates so much paranoia for me. And so I just kind of, I don't know, in and out, right? Like I'll do it, but I won't push hard. So yeah, I just decided not to do it this year. So my training yesterday was some clean and jerk work. So just a clean complex, not super heavy, up to 95. And then I had bike thrusters and double unders, and then bike and air squats. And so one of the main focuses in the main track is thruster volume. And so this is our version of like a shortened version of it. So it was 15 bike, 20 thrusters, dumbbell thrusters at a lighter load, 60 double unders, 3 rounds, which is like pretty red line stuff. Res 3 minutes, 15 cal bike, 20 air squats, right? So kind of just some like lactic threshold stuff. And then today was strength, but in a Metcon. So 5 deadlifts, 10 box jump overs, 15 cal skier, and just build deadlift each round. So started at 225. I went up to 305 for 5 rounds. And then it was a death by toes to bar EMOM, 8 cal row, and then 5 toes to bar in the minute, add 1 every minute until you cannot. So I finished 11 and got into 12, which I thought was pretty good. It was supposed to be done with a bike erg. So I think I probably would have finished 12, maybe even 13. The row, obviously, transitions are a little slower. Hip flexors get a little more fatigued, and et cetera, et cetera. So, um, anyways, update on my life. It's fun to hang out with the fam yesterday. I love when they're home, and it's not the weekend. Usually is an excuse for me not to have meetings. So I canceled my meetings and hung out with the fam. My niece and nephew came over, which was nice. How's everyone like Rogue? Let me hear the peanut galleries Rogue input. I thought it was pretty good. Kind of go back to it. We're gonna do a tier list tonight. So if you guys don't know what a tier list is, it's basically Kenneth, you're such a cynic. It was good. A tier list is basically like S through F, like um some of the weirdest shit pops up on my YouTube. It really does. You know? Um whoops, wrong thing. I thought it was good. Um a tier list. So if you guys don't know what a tier list is, basically, let me pull up our little um I'll share my screen. That's probably the best. Share. Doop. So basically, S through F. All right. So satisfactory A. So basically, S is like way overreach on what our predictions were. F is like underperform. Right. So, you know, it'll be good. So basically, all male, female will have like little heads and they'll pop up everywhere. We guys think of this thumbnail. I'm always proud of my thumbnails, right? Because I'm not like a artsy person, but I always feel kind of proud of my thumbnail. I think they always make me chuckle. Um, since I do them myself and I'm trying to learn how to use Canva. But yeah, it'll be good. So we'll do that today at 2. So 7 hours from now. Make sure to hit notify. Cool. Um, also we have a good video series coming out right now, guys. So it's basically um thanks, buddy. Thanks, Ken. You're the man. Um I'll come back to this in the next little bit. We'll kind of go over a little bit what it is, but basically, it's just a little video series here at WODprep, like how to get stronger without how to PR Olympic lifts without actually getting stronger. Um, it's a 4 video series. I'd love for you guys to watch through it. Head over to WODprep.
Really cool, free.
We have a cool little calculator that we've done. That's a bunch of ratios all based on your back squat, to see if you are strength limited or technique limited. We'd love for you guys just to go through, give it a watch. If you do watch the video, watch it in full, maybe give it a share, a like, a comment. And if you really enjoy it, kind of watch through um, the entire series. The next one will be released, I think, tomorrow. Um, so, anyways, they're pretty good. We put them together. We'd love for you guys to go through it. So, it's out now, Larry. Um, it's out. Got released a few days ago. It's doing decent. Our videos are struggling, man. YouTube is such a think like a I don't know, finicky thing. But anyways, go through, give it a watch. We'd love for you guys to join in. Trying to merge the podcast with the actual company a little bit in time, right? I try not to sell too much on here, but we do want to do this and keep making money and all the things. But yeah, we'd love for you guys to slink through it. Anyways, um, good question, Patrick. No, Ben might be out there because he's in Denver, but most of Coda is competing at Turkey Challenge. So I know Coda will be out there, um, and so it's I know a ton of them are competing. So so we'll be out there, sort of. Um, but I don't know. I'll ask Ben. I'll make sure to give him a. I'll make sure to ask. But if you want to reach out to me directly, maybe I'd love always a opportunity to maybe work with you guys in some capacity or anything like that. Why don't you hit me up on Instagram, the Movement Doctor, and we'll chat about it. Thanks, buddy. All right, back to Rogue. Let's see. Let's head back. So like I said, we'll do the tier tonight. Um, but for the most part, I thought it was good. It was interesting. I felt like I'm never one to just complain to complain. That's why I bring John on. He'll complain for no fucking reason. Um, but I thought overall, I thought it was really good. I thought the workouts were really fun and engaging. Kevin, the owner of Coda, like I ran my first competition recently. And so um and so he kind of breaks down uh workouts into like good fitness test, balanced, fun to watch, um and like easy to follow or something to that effect. And so I look at competitions like that now, and I thought it was pretty good, right? Like, they moved down the floor well. I think the workouts were pretty balanced. I mean, Rogue is always kind of biased to strength. And I was a little late. I mean, I think we're gonna do 6:45. I think it just does a little better. Um and uh and I thought overall it was good. I love the men's race. I think there's obviously a clear fittest man on earth currently, but the men's race is very narrow in the top 5, right? If you take out Brent, um, 4 or 5, I think if it's super aerobic, I think Jeff ironically starts to pull ahead. But, I think if you keep it a lot of mixed CrossFit, I really think these guys here play a big role. So it's going to be I think it's going to be a good men's season across the board, um, for the most part. And as far as the women's season, I think it's going to be relatively boring, right? I mean, I think it's going to be Tia, um, and then Laura, and then everyone else, right? I mean, there'll be a good fight for the podium for third. It seemed like there probably wouldn't have been with Gabby probably being like a clear third place, probably in the 700 point range. So, um, this is less exciting for sure. Um, but Yeah, the duel was good. I really liked it. I thought it was a great test, a good new I'll always love new I love new equipment implements that doesn't take a copious amount of skill to learn, right? Like you can just adapt on the fly, like, whatever the lift was that, I don't know, that lifting up whatever that thing was. I can't remember what it's called. Um, yeah, the podium. I mean, even the podium, I'll come back to some of these other ones. The podium was tiered, right? Like first was clear, and then second would have been clear, and then third would have been clear, and then it would have been everyone else, right? So, um, the injury sucks. I mean, I'm not to like downplay like Henrik, but like he's certainly less popular, right, than Gabby, and so it did stink. But I think Gabby's injury, especially in our world, right, and this is the thing that I think we get a little blinded in our own little YouTube echo chamber here, because we're still a pretty small portion of CrossFit. Um, like I was talking to people about, they're like, "Oh, Gabby got injured," and I was like, "Yeah, and the drama between them and Laura." And they watch all of CrossFit. They watch everything, and they had no idea that there was drama between Gabby and Laura. And they're like, "What?" But because it's really like isolated inside of this world, and Savan and barbell spin in this like YouTube platform is even a smaller niche inside the niche of CrossFit. And so it's I think in our world, like in viewing it, um it was a really big blow to watch Gabby get hurt, and like just to like our steam of like supporting someone new, like I don't know, whatever their riff was, whatever side you stand on, if you support Laura or Gabby or whatever, right? Um, especially with it seems like the potential like cultural view vibes or political vibes, divides, etc. I think it all was kind of just like overinflated in general. Um, but hey, like I was rooting for Gabby, and it would really suck to see that. But I hope she comes back really well. The good thing about the Achilles is um, it's a very high um, positive outcome surgery, right? There's a lot of new surgery styles that people are utilizing for faster recoveries, and more effective recoveries. And so I have no doubt that she will come back bigger, better, stronger, etc. Work on handstand push-ups. So again, right? This is, I think, just as this is in our world, right? I think in our world, and I think it's solely because of the side and the view of how the games played out. Um, right? Because this whole world is very cohesive in their view of what the games should have done, what the athletes should have done, their view on CrossFit, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And Laura didn't compete, so the world was generally against her. And I don't know if that's because we all generally think alike, or because we all sort of um, just like gravitate towards the same viewpoints because we're all in the same little echo chamber that we live in. Um, but I wouldn't say that no one wanted to Laura to win. I think the outside of this world, a lot of people wanted Laura to win, right? Inside of our world, a lot of people wanted Gabby to beat Laura, right? So I think it's really tough to say that everyone in this space, for sure, 100%, right? But outside of this space, no, I don't think so. I think most people still wanted Laura to beat Tia, and people, I think, have a flawed view of what's capable. I think anyone who truly thought Laura could beat Tia was, confused, obviously. But for the most part, I think that sentiment is strictly within this podcast world, right? Um, so anyways, good morning, Natalie. Hello, hello. Sorry, Slater, I didn't mean to be late. I have a funeral today, and like I said, I'm trying to get my fitness in, and so I had to get like nice. I had to I had to get one of my suits out and like make sure it didn't look like shit. And, being in the South, most of my suits are fucking navy or like bright, kind of like light colored, and I didn't want to wear a navy, so I had to find my gray one and make sure it fit and all that jazz. And so, anyways, um, yeah. But overall, I thought it was really good. I enjoy watching CrossFit. Um, uh, I'm really interested to see what the year is going to bring. Um, I didn't watch any strong woman. I think the only strong man I watched was the deadlift ladder. Um, and I think that's pretty much it. But it was good. It was really good. I'm excited for I'm sorry. I'm excited for the tier list this afternoon. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And a good show. So um let's see. No, I definitely think it's an improvement. I mean, he outplayed here. So that's a good question. Hopper grabbing third, expected or an improvement. So I think I think the biggest unexpected was Brent in second. Like there's no doubt, right? Brent is an S and he is the biggest S in the entire, right? And I'll just like give my like, a little preview by far, right? It makes me a little sad for him to finish second and to be walking out the door, right? That's fucking crazy. It didn't matter with Matt, right? Like this was a huge deal. Okay, especially when his counterpart Brent was in ninth, right? Like that's, I mean, 1 and 2 back and forth for the last 8 years, right? And so this was the biggest thing. Um, um, and we'll get there. I don't want to ruin too much of this. I mean, I guess we can talk about it. We'll talk about it again with John. He'll just try and yell over me. Um, uh, I wouldn't say it's unexpected, right? I think this is probably unexpected, this finish, because I mean, at this point, he was like, sheesh. Um, I mean, he was sitting like eighth, maybe even lower, right? Or ninth. And so, I mean, he had the best, let's see, what is that, 17? So, I mean, the last 5 events, the only person to beat him was Jeff, or I'm sorry, was Brent, right? Brent had 14, right? 14 total points here, or whatever their total points was. You can just add it up, and this is 15, right? So, I mean, even even Jeff had like almost 30, right? And everyone else just did poorly, right? So like his finish to the weekend, those workouts definitely favored him better. Um, hard to I don't know what was event 4. I don't know. Anyways, very impressive. Um, super impressive, right? I definitely think top 5 was there, but for him to beat Dallin, I think was really, really big. I think that's a really big testament um, to the progression and progress that he's making with whatever camp that he's at or whatever that situation is. Um, so yes, huge improvement. Not expected, but awesome to see. Inez, is that a strong woman? I feel like that's a strong woman. Yeah. I don't know anything about her. That's awesome. I assume any one of them that you watch trained in person are just crazy. Yeah, man, Justin just I don't know. I don't know. I'm it makes me sad. I mean, he won an event, right? Which is always awesome. Um and so he just doesn't have it. I mean, he used to be kind of aerobic. Now he's not. I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. I made this comment yesterday. If you or yesterday, no, not yesterday. Sunday after the event. Justin is training solo. Like obviously Adam's his coach. Savant says Adam's the best coach in CrossFit. I won't argue that. I think Adam's an amazing coach. It seems like he's done really, really well to take. Justin truly is one of the testaments of like building from very, very like low to being the best, right? To actually winning, you know. Very few people have actually done that. You can say Shane did. It's hard. It's I don't know. It's kind of hard to say that that was really the case. You can say that Mayhem has done it, but it's hard. Again, it's hard to say that that was the case. Um, Brute is doing it right with Dallin, and obviously James taking them from teens and like not making semifinals or whatever it is or games and then actually building them up to be podium contenders, right? And so it's only been done a few times. So um but he did have Ellie to train with, a chip on his shoulder, right? And it just seemed a little different to me. Um and now he doesn't really have anyone to train with. I think he's kind of training solo, and maybe there's just not that edge to push out a little bit more, right? Just that 1% each training session, compete a little more, etc. He clearly has gotten strong. Um, but I don't know. I don't know. Justin is definitely I don't like to say disappointment. Sad. I don't like to see him as a non-factor. Um, the last year in Madison, so 2023, we camped. We drove the camper up and we parked next to his family, and so we got to know them really well and hung out with them all night. Good people, and so I root for Justin. Um, yeah, I think the Hopper Dallin uh, competitive, fun, like like frenemy thing is really good. I think it's really great, right? It's very similar to um, Colton and Taylor. I think that's really good for our sport. I also think shit talking and having people that you also don't like um, uh, are good for the sport too, right? Just not talking about someone's injury. Oh, that's funny. Same thing, right? I mean, but this is more expected, right? I mean, Brent's 34, right? It seemed to be on the play, but that is, I guess Justin only won it once. No, Justin's won it twice. Um, but same, yeah, more so with Medeiros, right? Pat, it's so hard to like think Pat should be a certain level when like it's clear that dude has like so many other things going on in life. So um none of those girls are natural. I don't even know who that is, but there's no chance that anyone in this field was natural. I'm sorry, Natalie. I don't even know who Melissa is. No, I don't know. Well, whoever she is, there's no way. It's not possible. No one's natural. Um, like yes, but less PC. Like less like not Canadian friendly, right? Bro, like college teammate shit talking friends, right? I don't even know who this is. Do I need to look this person up? Oh my god. Yeah, exactly. Less Canadian. Yes, but less Canadian, which is a difference, right? That makes a difference. Who's this person? Melissa Peacock? I mean, I still don't think she's probably. Mm. This person? Is this who you guys are talking about? I think so. I'm assuming so. I mean, she does. She's agreed. She is attractive, but I don't know if she's natural. I mean, she's still fucking yoked. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah. What a savage. Cool. I guess I have no sound. Who only lifts? All right. Good for her. Cool. They're big. They're big and strong for sure. All right. What else? Rogue is done. What's next? I don't even know. Ugh, my neck hurts. Dubai. Dubai is next, right? Wadapalooza. Dubai, does Dubai even count? I mean, their first test. I mean, their first thing is a FTP test, which is terrible, by the way. The worst, the absolute worst thing. Correction. Great test. An amazing test. Amazing test. I just want to be clear. Amazing test. But a terrible thing to watch. 20 minutes sitting on a bike. Terrible. Not even. So, anyways, boring test to watch. Great test, boring test. Is there any Wadapalooza is next? I don't even know. One of my friends qualified elite female. No, I don't think this is a high. This is like Jason Hopper. Jason Hopper would win. John's talked about Jason has like a 340 watt FTP, which is still substantially lower than a professional cyclist, but crazy. Hepner just did it. Yeah, but this is like real capacity stuff. Like very, very, very far. Oh yeah, Fittest Experience is in January. They're all like the same. This is really close. These are all going to be really, really close. Jacob Hepner just redid it. He got 305 and then he did a cycle and got like 325, which is really good. 325 is pretty impressive. All right. Any workouts? FitFest. Where is FitFest? UK? Is that the one in UK? That's right. Nice. Okay. What is FitFest? Is it just like a It also says Birmingham. So like the first time I saw it, I was like, oh shit, it's right up the street. And then I was like, oh, it's in Europe. What's the point of it? Is it kind of like a showcase, like the tier cup? Like is it only professionals that do it? Or is there like team reps ahead? Thank you. Perfect. I'm guessing Patrick Clark probably didn't like that. That's okay. I guess I can share. Is that a good way to explain it, guys? I've never watched it. Uh-oh. When the world's on fire, when the sun burns cold, we're building something unbreakable. That was last year. Okay, so kind of like tier cup, maybe. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Cool. Do we know any of the workouts? I guess not. It's probably a month out. Mm. Cool. All right, then we got Wadapalooza. We were going to do a camp. It's getting a little tight for our camp. That's enough. Just watch just because of Colton. I mean, that's a pretty solid, suggestion for sure. He is pretty entertaining to watch. It's so funny. He's so witty. I have to give him credit for it, right? He is a pretty witty guy. Um, Makes me chuckle. His Instagram posts are always really, really well done. He's very, very you can always tell intelligence from like wittiness and like quick-wittedness. I think there's like a study that shows that like how fast you can rebuttal like in sarcasm and in wittiness is like a good sign of intelligence. Um, but there's also studies that show cursing is a sign of low intelligence and that cursing is a sign of high intelligence. So you never really know, right? But he makes me chuckle and he is fun to watch. Um, I love the hype behind him. He seems like a pretty genuine human. I love the um no holds bar, like no fucks given attitude. Um, which is good. CrossFit needs that for sure. What was I just about to say? Hmm, hmm, I don't know. All right, so we'll do just like a little bit of marketing in here. Um, so we have a this weightlifting calculator I was talking about earlier. Okay, so it's free. Just head over, just drop a name and an email. Our little opt-in is kind of delayed. So just give it a little bit of time. But basically, what this will do is you can throw in your lifts, and it'll tell you if you are technique limited or strength limited. And so it's all based on your back squat. And so whatever your back squat is, you'll put that in there at the top. And so it'll look like this. Okay. So we'll just put mine in here. And so we'll just kind of go. Um, and we'll get to that in a second. Um, so 380, right? Power clean. I think these are mine actually. Oh, yeah, they are. So obviously I'm very technique limited, but basically what it will do is if we dropped in something like this, or even like 330, um, so just head over to that link that I posted. We're going to start it. I think I can actually pin it to the top. Um, and just give it a look, right? And so these numbers, as far as like what they are, um, just we've accrued them over just years of like taking like old balances from like Charles Poliquin and Westside and like old CrossFit stuff and games numbers, etc. And so they're all just based on your back squat, right? And so it's, you know, do you power clean relative to your back squat a certain percentage? If you do hit that percentage, that means you're strong enough and you should just continue to work on strength to move those numbers. If you're lower than that percentage, say if it's red, so if it's 380, so this is for me, I'm always technique limited. I'm not very strong. And these are like my lifetime numbers, right? And they were all pretty close around the same time. I'm a little close on my powers, but getting under the bar, I broke my wrist really early in CrossFit, missing a clean, and I was just never the same. I also started CrossFit while I was in PT school, so my um, you just get like fear mongered to shit of everything, right? Oh my god, I'm walking funny. I need to fix that. Oh my god, I have this. I don't know, like weird 1% type diagnosis that no one else has, but because I'm in PT school, I think I have it. And so, um, head out, fill out that. We'd love for you to um, head over to the website, to that link, fill it out, and just yeah, see if you're technique limited or strength limited. And you can join the we can pin it. There we go. Haha. Look at that. Sweet. See, just had to pull that up. All right. Anyways, You choose any jerk is fine. We just say split jerk. Any jerk is fine. Um, whatever your heaviest jerk is works just as fine. Um, so yeah, cool. And if you're really looking to improve some of your weightlifting and stuff like that, head over to that video series that I talked about earlier. Um, and I think it doesn't factor age because so we do have some stuff that factors age for strength. Like so we have a pure strength calculator like which is based on age and weight. Um, but because this is based on your back squat, right? There doesn't need to be an age factor, right? Because it's based on a current lift that you have regardless of age, right? So this will be more challenging, right? So like it's like 80% of your back squat you should clean and jerk or whatever it is, right? I can't think of off the top of my head, right? Relative of your age, we should still be um in that same general work, right? Like it's so because it's just trying to tell you if you need to work on technique more or not. Okay. Um, and um, and so if you back squat, and most older individuals are always technique limited, right? Especially someone like Larry, right? So you just need to continue working on technique, technique, technique. You don't ever have to get your stronger for your lifts to actually go up, right? That's all it's trying to define. And so um, we have a course that does that 8 weeks, 3 to 4 days a week, 30 minutes, all technique bias stuff. And so this is what it's kind of leading to, right? We have a launch coming up. So um, stick around if you guys are looking to really build your weightlifting. It's a really good course, very, very, very thorough. Me and Coach Savannah, who's a Masters World competitor, um, has we put this together a few years ago, and so this is kind of like a, you know, like a hype, like a little hype for it. So so no, this one doesn't, but we do have a strength calculator that does factor in age because it's just based on body weight. Yeah. So Larry, this is, you getting stronger will never move your Olympic lifts ever, right? Like from like a pure strength perspective. Um, uh, it won't, right? Getting technique would for sure, 100%. But you have your biases and the things that you want to do, and I think that's great, and I think you should continue to drive that. Um, yeah, God, I hope, man. I Bennett's like getting to the age where like he likes to come in the garage with me and like swing on the rings, and then he has like a little tiny trampolines with a little bar that they jump on, and they so we do pull-ups, right? So like he grabs on, he's like up down, and so I like hold his legs and he kind of pulls up. God, I can't fucking wait till he lifts weights. We were in the garage last night and he wanted to sit on the C2 bike with me. I had a friend over and we do a workout every couple nights a week. He's like a family friend. And he wanted to like he sat on the rower with me, sat on the bike with me. And I was like, buddy, you're gonna get so much of this. I can't even wait. Ugh, I can't wait for him to work to do fitness with me. I'm so excited. It's gonna be good. Super, super excited. So guys, we have quite kind of a lot of people on, so thanks for joining this morning. We'll stay on till about 8, so about 30. Um, uh, yeah, we'll get there. I definitely want to get one. I can only fit so much more shit in my house right now before we start getting rid of stuff. Like we just started buying Christmas presents. I think granddaddy is buying like a mini basketball hoop. Um, and like we got a ride in car, right? Like a fucking, I don't know, like a Jeep, something that like has a remote for him. So we're just running out of room, right? Um, but no, Slack block is definitely um on the on the thing. But he's pretty coffee's here. He's pretty I hate saying that he's pretty advanced for just turning 2 physically as well. I mean, he's really fast. He jumps, he climbs, all the normal stuff. But he's moving up the chain pretty well of like physical development and milestones and developmental milestones. This is good. I know we talked about this last week. Um, Good to know. I met I met whoever the paper street guy was on election day. I was on Gabe. I was on Clinton Girls for like an hour or so and just chatted some election stuff, and Gabe popped on. And I had to go. He um seems like a very thought-driven person. So, uh-oh, Bennett's making noise. Maybe the show won't go on too much longer. Um, but anyways, anyone hanging out in the chat, if you guys have any questions, training, injury, pain, I'd love to answer them. I do enjoy um, shooting the shit and just like talking whatever in CrossFit, but I really enjoy like breaking down some training and helping people get better, or talking through an injury or something that someone's struggling with. I am a doctor of physical therapy, so um, yeah, yeah. Um, he just seems very intelligent, right? Like you can just listen to someone speak for 20 minutes or so of whatever the topic is. Um, and he's just very well calculated. It's probably the term I was trying to look for. Um, Midlife slump. Kenneth, how old are you? I think you told me this. I think you're my age, right? 35, 34. I'm 34. I am 34. Larry, you're the man. I don't know. So I always feel like this statement, that age where you can't just eat whatever anymore. Man, 35, I'm 34. I don't know if that's like a real thing. I feel like if we really laid it out, our activity level really starts to drop because we have kids or a job, our daily steps start to decrease and those kind of things. And I think that plays a bigger role than actually like metabolic reduction. I know that shows that there's a metabolic reduction in general science, but there's also a very huge correlation to just like being less active on a day-to-day basis. Um, so and yeah, I don't know. I just feel like we were just like, yeah, stress, like all the allostatic load stuff. You guys know what that is. That's like the things that play a role in your life that aren't just training fatigue, right? Like just activity, but like stress and etc. Um, right. And so if this is the case, then it's probably not. Like if you were, just look at your total training volume from the last 10 years relative to wherever you feel like this slump has started, right? And I'll guarantee that it was more, right? When I'm training a lot, dude, I don't have any problem eating a ton more. I know if my training is down, like I'm a sedentary person when I'm not, even when I'm training consistently. Like I was out 30 minutes, I have 2,000 steps on the day. I wore my watch my entire workout, right? And I'll only get like 2 or 3,000 more unless I get outside with Bennett, right? Like that's pretty low. Like I'm not a 10 to 12,000 step person a day ever. And I mean, I still have abs, you know. And so it's I think it's more lifestyle than like true biological or physiological degradation or like age regression or progression, however you want to define it. Um, yeah, this helps. I have four machine 4 machines at the house. I have a rower, a biker, a skier, and a air bike. Um, so yeah, man, I think it's what you make it. You know, the midlife slump. I think it's valid, right? For sure. But but what I think is more valid is the fact that it's more controllable than we want to lead on because we want something to blame. You're like, "Oh, this sucks. It's changing. I'm getting old, etc." You know, we yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, exactly. Jeff knows. Ugh. Blech. That would suck. Yeah, you wouldn't fucking be fat then. Um, uh, I think it's more in our control than we want to let on because then that puts the ball in our court more, requires more um responsibility, control, um, less things to blame it on. And so I try not to personally, this is me personally, right? Because I've gone through those sort of things and maybe not like physical midlife slump, but like, just like things are changing and like, I hit the back in my day every now and then. And so I think I try to not give myself excuses for whatever changes that are coming, right? Like they're all in my control. Right? Everything is in my control. Like I don't like to think that anything is out of my control. What's up, Jody? Sorry I'm late. You are late. Busy in the bunker. Like, hey, I emailed you. Email me back. It is though. See, this is the thing, Larry. You're a unicorn, right? Cardio later in life, cardio is substantially linear, right? Like in the sense of maybe not that we know we're just going to get faster, but dude, the 50% of the world and probably more, like view strength. If you just replace strength and cardio in this sentence, that's how they feel, right? Like, oh, if I just train cardio in this bit, I know I'll be able to peak in these time frames. Like that's what aerobic athletes feel. They don't feel the same. Um, uh, they don't feel the same as you do. They feel the exact opposite. Like if you just replace the words, strength sucks and no one has answers. Cardio, I know if I do these sets in this many weeks, I'll be this fast. If strength was like that for sure, I'd be in more. It's the same thing. You just have a bias towards it. You're an anomaly, dude. You're an anomaly. You power snatch fucking almost 250 pounds in your 50s. That's fucking crazy. That's the craziest thing. Your strength ability is insane. Insane. Especially in the CrossFit world. I know there's some power guys that are there, but like you're the minority. I know you don't feel it, but you are the minority. Um, Craig, what are my thoughts on hypertension and aging athletes? Um, I don't know. I mean, it definitely needs some more context to the question. It'll probably help. Um, I definitely think I need some context to answer this. So give me a little more in depth here. Give me something. Is this to you? Does this person have high hypertension or is it common or what do we yeah, I need some context here. Yeah, Jeff, I've done plenty of strength workouts that get the heart rate up. 20 squats at 78 per 10. That's so much. Um uh I think that this is where CrossFit's beautiful, right? By creating a functional training or mixed modal approach to aerobic requirements, not just running or just rowing, right? Using external load resistance training in and mixing it with aerobic implements, right? Mixed modal or like metabolic conditioning. Um, we've just created this ability to maintain strength later in life while maintaining aerobic, right? Like just running is great. But we know that strength is needed in some capacity, right? Even though when you look at like longevity studies and like these centurions and stuff like that, these 100-year-old plus people, like they've never done strength training. It's just it's very interesting. But the research shows that strength is a better predictor of independent life late in life, right? Like being independent later in life because you can get up from a fall, right? You can get in and out of a chair, you can go upstairs, et cetera, et cetera. Um, where cardiovascular ability or tolerance maybe has less of that. And so it's so interesting, right? But cardiovascular fitness is like heart fitness is better than strength. So it's hard, right? Like it's tough to define. It's definitely a like a balancing scale of like which is more important for late longevity or for forever. Heart health is probably more important than pure strength, but pure strength is most likely going to create and allow independence later in life, which is why I think CrossFit's beautiful because we're doing both, right? Like even if you never even if you never lift heavy, right? Like doing goblet squats or like kettlebell swings or light deadlifts um um in a workout with your heart rate up, right? We're going to kill two birds, one stone, right? And I think that's like the most important thing. Yeah, I mean, this doesn't really help. Um, so hypertension in aging athletes. So like, are you asking, do I think that it's more common? I'm still not sure what the question is specifically. Like that's a very broad thing. I think aging athletes have a better chance of having hypertension just from life in general, arteriosclerosis, and you can say cholesterol or however you want to define it, sugar, et cetera, right? Like hardening of the arteries, arteriosclerosis, whatever causes it, right? um it's definitely more common, but I'm not sure what the question is. Are we asking if training, how do we train around it, or how do we work through it, or do we take drugs? Like what are we, give me something to there. Like it happens more often for sure, right? Probably going to start happening less often in our world of following this diet plan and following this nutrition approach in CrossFit from your 30s into your 80s. Your arteries are probably going to look better than someone that started CrossFit in their 60s, right? Or even in their 50s, right? Jody, this is awesome. Congrats. I love hanging out. Okay, is red meat the devil? Absolutely not. Um, dude, 20 rep. I don't even know. It makes me want to throw up. Um, this is an interesting thing. So never lose my ability to overhead squat and the ability to box jump. I think jumping is, if you can jump in life, then you're fine. You have all the strength you need to be a successful human into forever, right? I think the biggest thing and the biggest flaw that CrossFit made was scaling to no box jumps from a competitive standpoint, right? We go through a box jump cycle um like every year in WODprep, usually in the summer. Um and the first year we did it, we were like predominantly masters. We didn't have any really young athletes there. I couldn't believe how many people had never fucking jumped on a 12-inch box. Guys, jumping more than squatting, jumping, the ability to leave the ground, hands down, like if you just could do one thing that's going to make sure that you have a lot of independence, is being able to jump successfully. Balance, coordination, speed, power, strength, all of those. To leave the ground and come back down and not just completely shatter yourself. Jumping, hands down, is what will keep you independent later in life. Yeah. We're not talking about a rebound, just the ability to jump from the ground onto a box, or even just like a tuck jump, right? Just the ability to lean down and jump up. Okay. is so important and such a valuable tool and skill and like driver of success in life that it should never be avoided ever. Right. Right. I'm not telling you to jump down, right? We're not whatever. We're not trying to blow Achilles here. Okay. But with that being said, this happens in CrossFit because we don't train appropriate plyometric stuff, by the way. Right. Like this is why it happens. It also happens in every other sport, like literally every sport. But it happens in CrossFit because we do rebound stuff, but no one is doing plyometric like work, rebounding type stuff, like hurdle jumps, et cetera, all of that kind of stuff. Right. So we're ill prepared. We can be very fit. You can be very fit and be able to express a lot of output and not be prepared to express that output. Right. Does that make sense? Okay. It's like sprinting, right? Think of it as like the 100-meter sprint. Okay. All right. So think of it as like the 100-meter sprint. What happens when anyone tries to do a sprint race at any point in life, except when they're in high school and they're playing football or soccer or whatever, right? They pull a hamstring. Why? Because they're still capable of expressing the output of running fast, but they haven't built up the tissue tolerance to do that thing. Same thing on rebounding box jumps. Okay. Right. Doing a double under does not count, right? To jumping 45 inches in the air, right? Or 20 inches in the air. Okay. Right. You have to be doing depth drops, the box jumps, right? Like bounding hurdles, et cetera, right? If you plan on doing rebounding box jumps, okay, then you need to be working like actual rebounding progressive skills frequently or at least weekly, right? Right. What happened? So Gabby was doing a double jump in her interview. Great interview with Friend. It was awesome. Awesome interview. I loved it. Really like worked their way around specifically saying Laura in the games and like, Christoph or whatever, right? None of us really know what happened. We're just assuming. And so he navigated that really, really well. But she even said, she was like, oh, in this next round, the round of 10, I knew I had to go faster, right? Well, she was doing a little bit of that double jump, which Tia did the whole time, right? So she come down, it's like dun, dun, up, right? Which is much different than all the way down. And so they feel good. You can feel great. You can be awesome. There's usually no precursor to an Achilles tear, right? It's just ill prepared for the moment at hand. That's it. And so we're just not, we don't practice it. Let's see. Let me just pull it up. Let's see. Invitational. What day was that on? Was that on Saturday? Saturday. All right. All right, here we go. All right, hopefully I don't think I'll get dinged. I'm going to mute this. Here we go. Perfect.
Semi-final heat is underway.
So Danielle's here at the bottom.
And it's going to be Danielle Brandon off.
So she isn't. Whoops.
And then Emma Tall.
So Danielle's clearly rebounding. So she rebounds. Boop, she rebounds the whole time. Looking at everyone else. Semenza doesn't. Whoever's in the middle is.
Semifinal heat is under.
This is semifinal, so we're just going to go backwards a little bit.
Can continue to.
The best way.
So hard to.
Gains ground.
All right, let's go back to somewhere in these first rounds.
This from her.
Laura Horvath and Alex Kazan are even, along with Paige Semenza, so it's going to be. And Alex Kazan all out there.
I'm just going to watch this first part.
Final heat of round 2.
So,
She keeps it going.
And once again,
so Brandon's still for sure rebounding, but of course we don't see anyone. So this is Laura. This is Gabby, I think, right? I think this is Gabby, and she's not rebounding. Okay. So we can't really see much. She's clearly rebounding, but Gabby isn't. Right, and so that's the biggest difference. So,
she's going to be the first one off and onto the sled.
No, this wasn't the heat. This was the next. It was the next one. We went past it. Anyways, we didn't see it. So what we're getting at, right, is I don't think it's the sled. I think it's just purely like a one-off, right? Like had she started with it, I think she would have probably tore it the same, right? I don't think the sled is putting enough stress on the on it. So this is interesting. Probably not. I think that's just like a byproduct. Am I bleeding? Oh. But I oh, okay. I was like, what? It was the same lane. That is funny though. But I don't think it's the jumps do for sure, but she wasn't rebounding until that last one. She even said, what I was getting at was she said she had the rebound to go faster, right? You can feel great, you can feel good, but if you're not doing those things, it's not like you're just ill prepared. That's all it is. Do I think the burpee box jumps version? Oh, did I see? I mean, the burpee was fine. I don't think it changed the result at all. He's back. What's up, man? That's a sick picture. I love it. That looks like a fraternity, like what do they call it? Like the main picture, like your yearly picture, your yearbook picture. Do I like? Thanks. I think it was fine. I mean, it was what it was, right? It was maybe obviously a little slower. It wasn't that much slower. But I think it was fine. I think it was very appropriate. I think making changes mid workout or mid competition is very, very, very mature and something that needs to be done, right? Like it just is. And I think that was great. They were able to get it done with within the heat. You ask the athletes, things change. It is what it is. I don't think so. I mean, you're looking at 10 jumps, right, to that point, right? Because it was the third round. 10 jumps with 10 minutes of rest in between. No one was hurting or feeling fatigue. It's just a random occurrence, right? Like I think it could have happened to her on the first round. I don't know when it happened to Heinrich. Do you guys know when it happened to Heinrich? That's just my personal though, right? I mean, it definitely could have. Like, I'm not trying to shut you down, Jeff. It just is. I just don't think. God, they really fucked up this event with how long it took. What is happening here? Uh-oh. It's never good when when your Slack is blowing up means that you have a lot of work to do. And mine is fucking going off right now. Jesus Christ. Why does everything take so long? Henrik 34. So Henrik got into the second round. Yeah. Let's see. I think this is round 2. It is almost wrap up time. Don't kick me off, Ken. Yep. Second round, right? So, you know, boom. That fucking sucks, dude. Ugh, I hate to see it. Hate it. Dude, injuries suck. Anyways, second round. So hard to say, right? Anyways, all right, guys. It is wrap up time. Any closing thoughts for the day? That was a good show. A good show. I don't even like to call it a show. Just so it was a good chat. I enjoy chatting with you guys. I enjoy talking. Dude, yes. Dude, the Achilles injury is so crazy because every single person says the exact, it's like it's a phenomenon, right? Like 100%. Whoa, what just happened? Like, did I like, oh man, did like something sting me? Did I clip my ankle on the box or something? Like because it doesn't hurt at all. There is zero pain associated with an Achilles tear. Zero, which is mind, even if it's not a full tear, it's so mind blowing how people respond to it. They're just like, man, that kind of like, what was that? What was that feeling? And oh, my foot just isn't fucking working. Crazy. It's just so mind blowing. Yeah, like you stepped on a rock, right? Like, oh man, what was that? Like, oh, did I stepped on an uneven surface, right? Like if you're like stepping down, it's so strange. Just like it's weird, so crazy because everyone does the same thing. They're like, oh, did someone step on me, right? So, yep, had to get that. Thank you. This is my guy, right? So, get the lift calculator. Go to that link that's pinned. We'd really appreciate it. I think it'll really help you guys. Head over to WODprep's page. We have a video series on why you suck at weightlifting. No, why you don't need to get stronger to be better at weightlifting for most of you. Okay. Watch through it. It's doing really well. I think you guys will really enjoy it. It's a 4-part series. It'll be out by the rest of the week. And I think you guys will really appreciate it. And I think it'll really help you become better athletes. So give it a watch. If you guys ever have any questions, message WODprep on Instagram or Movement Doctor, whatever it is. And we'll always get you guys answered. So thanks for being here. Enjoy, guys. And we'll see you this afternoon for our Rogue Tier show. Have a good day.